Welcome to a very delayed episode about outlines. Because clearly I'm so popular that I can take a random 3-week break and everybody will miss me. Outlines can be done in numerous ways. Let's do this with props. There are suggestions that you can take 3x5 note cards and write out 2 or 3 sentences of what's going to happen in the scene and which characters are in the scene. And you do that for every scene that you have. It takes a lot of note cards and it is very tedious, but it is an effective way to plot your story. You can also take regular pieces of paper and write out plot points, generalized plot points of what's going to happen in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Probably the most important reason why you should outline is to help put your story in some form of chronological sense. You don't want your story to end where your chosen one character finds out in the middle of a climactic battle scene he or she has a half-brother that is evil. Not unless you're planning to write another novel or two. Which is why you should always have at least a general idea of how everything is going to come together. You may think that outlining is above you, and you don't have to do that because you have it all up here. I suggest that you write a generalized outline instead, and then with small little plot ideas that will move your story forward comes along, you can just add a little note in the margin. That's what I tend to lean towards doing because I get caught up in defining my story by the outline. Your story is going to change, whether or not you planned on it. Your characters are going to do something that will completely change the direction of your novel. Now, many writers set out with an outline in the beginning of their stories, and then they think that their story has to go exactly like their outline. But it doesn't. In fact, if you try and define your story by the outline, then you'll only get stuck and you won't get very far at all. It does not matter how you plot or outline your novel, as long as you have a vague idea of where you're going. So tune in next video to figure out how to begin the character process.